It's happening. The crash has already started. As Record says, we entered a depression in 2008. And again, he's a smart boy. Definition of a depression is subprime growth. So America and the world has not grown. Like he talks about here, how Credit Suisse went bankrupt. Nobody says anything. So-called the safest bank in the world, Credit Suisse, is bankrupt, but we can't see it.
Robert Kiyosaki warns that a major financial crash is already happening, urging people to take their money out of banks. He believes the economy has been in decline since 2008, with debt, bonds, being the foundation of the world economy. Kiyosaki emphasizes that people can't see banking crashes, which are as dangerous as market crashes. He advocates investing in gold, silver, and real assets, calling bonds and traditional financial advice risky. He also criticizes government actions, saying the U.S. is bankrupt and that global tensions are escalating.
That's I was asking what's happening in New York and what's happening in San Francisco. And I called my travel agents and I said, I think I'm going to take a tour of San Francisco. She goes, why? And then and then I was seeing this other video or YouTube thing about what's happening in New York City. And you said it so accurately. New York is in lag 10 years behind San Francisco. But I also want to shamelessly plug our friend James Rickards' books. This is a must read, everybody. Money GPT by James Rickards. But it's saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. And this one is even worse because, James is one of the smartest guys on planet Earth. So get this book here as soon as it comes out to bookshelves, Money GPT by James Rickards. So again, let me promote Rickards' book here. He's the smartest guy I know. He says there's two kinds of crashes. One is a banking crash. And second is a market crash. So you and I can see market crashes. We can see the real estate crashing. We can see the stock market crashing. But he says what you cannot see is a bank crash. And, he was LTCM, long-term capital management. And his question after that happened was 96, I think. He said, who's going to bail out the Fed? So the Fed's just been bailing everybody out. But now he's saying that the bond market is going down. His book is priceless. I mean, it's easy to read, but he incorporates AI with finance, with gold, silver, and all this stuff. He just is so comprehensive, but it's a must read for today. Unfortunately, it's not out yet, so go to Amazon and get it. It's the most time. I wish I could promote my books as well as I do his, but this is a fabulous book. Well, this is this chapter right here. Mark it. It's page 5758. He talks about Silicon Valley Bank, SVB. Everybody talks about the GFC in 2008. He says the Silicon Valley Bank is the biggest bailout in world history because it bailed out the rich. It bailed out Silicon Valley. It bailed out everybody because the whole thing was about to come down. So that's why what Rickards has the ability to do is explain from the inside looking out. So Silicon Valley Bank is the biggest crash in world history, but nobody talks about it. Yeah. So let me keep it really simple. What Rickards is saying, the bond market is crashing. Do you realize the world economy is based on debt? A bond is a debt, and the whole world is floating on it who think bonds are safe. Check that out. Get that. Oh, I don't have to worry. I have treasuries. I have this. Because those lying financial planners, all they want to do is sell you that stuff, where a bond is debt. And then, as you know, in 1971, Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
And that's when the U.S. dollar became debt. So that's why guys like Dave Ramsey is a good friend of mine. But he says live debt free. But that goes against Mother Nature, since money is debt. So I've always said all these years, I use debt as money. I borrow money to get rich. Now, the average person shouldn't do that. They should follow Rickard. They should follow Dave Ramsey, live debt free. But without financial education, the average person is out there stuffing their 401ks or IRAs or RRSPs full of fake money, fake stocks, bonds. We haven't seen the crash yet. It's coming. It's the biggest in world history. Well, again, what Rickards is saying here is really accurate. He says you can't see it. That's the problem. And the biggest markets in the world are the bond markets. And you have ask any financial planner, oh, should I buy bonds? Yes, they're safe. And the whole thing is coming down because it's all corrupt. And so that's why for all these years, it's gold and silver. I own gold mines, silver mines, all that stuff. It's happening. The crash has already started. As records said, we entered a depression in 2008. And again, he's a smart boy. Definition of a depression is subprime growth. So America and the world has not grown. Like he talks about here, how Credit Suisse went bankrupt. Nobody says anything. So-called the safest bank in the world, Credit Suisse, is bankrupt, but we can't see it. And so what's happening is that it keeps crashing, but we can't see it. And that's why all these years is gold, silver, I add Bitcoin to it. I'm a big silver bull, as you know. I own silver mines. I started we have a mine in Utah, the richest gold mine in America today. So I'm a hardcore believer of gold and silver, real money, not fake money. But the average person has been educated into fake. No. And, Daniela, you and I both know the problem is beyond any politician at this point. The reason for all these years I've known, I kept saying buy gold and silver. And, I think silver is still the best. It's the most underpriced. I remember silver when it was $50 an ounce, and even today it's $30, still underpriced. And it's an industrial metal used by, every solar cell company and electric company and batteries. Oh, by the way, I just bought a lithium mine because I'm getting into the EV market. How does buying a lithium mine get you in the EV market? I said, well, they use lithium. I'm a hard asset guy, basically. But all these years, the problem has been we spend too much money. The national debt of America is now 35 trillion on balance sheet. It's about 250 trillion off balance sheet when Social Security, pensions. But the problem here is this, Daniela, is that every year now, American taxpayers have to pay $1 trillion just to handle the interest on that debt. And every 100 days, Janet Yellen and what's this guy, Powell, and the president, they print $1 trillion every 90 to 100 days. We're bankrupt. That's about using a credit card to pay off your home loans. We're bankrupt. And that's why I've said go back to real money. Back then it was gold and silver. And I think the people that do that will do fine. I'm a little excessive. They talk about silver stackers and gold stackers. Well, I stack gold mine and gold and silver mines. But that's why, Daniela, everybody says, well, what's the Fed doing? I got sick and tired of hearing about the Fed. Oh, they're going to raise. And hey, the Fed's the problem. And all of these experts out there are going, oh, what's the Fed doing? What's the Fed doing? My question to all your listeners right now, what the F are you doing?
In this video, Robert Kiyosaki strongly advises people to take their money out of banks, arguing that the Federal Reserve, Fed, is the real problem and calling it Marxist. He shares his concerns about the future, mentioning global issues like potential wars and economic instability. Kiyosaki stresses that people should invest in 5 Gs to protect themselves: gold, grub, food, ground, real estate, gasoline, oil, and guns. He warns that small wars often grow into bigger ones and urges people to be aware of the geopolitical risks, including conflicts involving China, Taiwan, and terrorist groups.
Do you know what I mean? If you're listening to the Fed, you got to be crazy. Those guys are nuts. They're the problem. That's why, that they want to have end the Fed, and, because they speak about it. The Fed's the problem. Fed is Marxist. It's a central bank. But they don't teach that in school because the teachers are Marxists also. They're good people. My mom and dad were the best of people. When I was a kid, when John Kennedy came to power, he inspired, he said, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. My mom and dad quit their jobs and joined the Peace Corps, of all things, And we were kids going, how do we eat now? Because they weren't being paid anything, but they were volunteering for the world, and they were inspired by John Kennedy. But unfortunately, I was just with Robert Kennedy a couple of days ago. He got taken out, as you know. And then Robert Kennedy Sr. got taken out. So I asked Bobby Kennedy Jr. because I was with Trump right after he was attempted assassination on Trump. And Bobby Kennedy said Sirhan didn't kill his father. Neither did Lee Harvey Oswald. So I said, who did? He says, CIA. It's the same as they tried, the FBI tried to take Trump down on false Russian charges. Yeah, not only RFK, but Elon Musk. Did you see what NASA just announced this morning?
Yes.
Yeah. for those that don't know, they said step aside Boeing. NASA said to Boeing, step aside. We're going to use a Elon Musk rocket.
Yeah.
Because Boeing can't get the rocket off the launch pad, and so you have these astronauts stuck in space. So that was my ex this morning. I talked about how we need more entrepreneurs like Elon Musk. Oh, don't talk to idiots. You know, I mean, when I talk to a record, his prediction for gold is 15,000 an ounce. So like I said, I respect and trust this guy knows what he's talking about. So if he says 15,000, I just go to church and say,
Yeah.
I believe. Because as you know, some people will get rich while the rest of the world goes poor. We're in serious trouble, but I'd rather be on the rich side than the poor side. And I'll leave the final thought here is that this is called the 5 G's. If you're going to save your butt now, the 5 G's, number 1 is gold. You must have gold. Number 2, you must have grub, food. So I have cattle. You know, the Fed cannot print a cattle. Number 3 is ground, real estate. I have lots of real estate. Number 4 is gasoline. I have lots of oil wells. I don't have oil stocks. And number 5, guns. It's coming to that. Every small war turns into a big war. This guy Ping Xi of China, he says his goal is to take back Taiwan. And you have Hamas, you have Hezbollah, you have Biden took down the wall. And my friends from the Israeli Defense Forces say that Hezbollah and Hamas are streaming across our borders, America's borders right now. And you see it in New York. And so this guy Biden and Kamala could be in this, watch what they do, not what they say. But he took down the wall. And now, according to IDF, Israeli Defense Forces people, America is they're now staging Hezbollah and Hamas terrorist groups. Thank you, Joe and Kamala. Watch what they do, not what they say. That's the rule the military teaches us.
Thanks for watching. If you found this video valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights on protecting your wealth. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And remember, stay informed, stay prepared, and take action now. For more tips on financial education and investing, check out the resources in the description below. See you in the next video. Stay safe and stay smart. Take care.